Hey everyone, Adam here with a Darkest Dungeon 2 Man-at-Arms guide. In this video, I'll go over all the abilities for the Man-at-Arms, as well as what adding a mastery point to each skill does for you. My hope is that this video series will help you decide who you'd like to unlock skills on first during your playthrough. The Man-at-Arms' first skill is Crush. Crush can only be used from the first two positions, but reaches all the way back to position 3 of the enemy ranks. Despite its low crit, this skill actually deals pretty decent damage. Upgrading this skill with a mastery point will increase its damage as well as cause it to consume the target's combo token on hit in order to add a block token to the Man-at-Arms. This block token will cause the next damaging attack against him to only deal 50% of its damage. The Man-at-Arms' second ability is Rampart. Rampart can be used from any position other than the back and hits either of the front two enemy positions. Using this attack will send the Man-at-Arms forward a position while knocking back and dazing the enemy. If the enemy does not resist the daze, it will cause them to go at the end of the round for their next action. Using a mastery point on Rampart will increase its damage slightly, as well as cause the skill to consume a combo token on the enemy if available, stunning them for their next action. The third skill of the Man-at-Arms is Defender. Defender can be used from any position to guard an ally. Using this skill places 2 block tokens on the Man-at-Arms, as well as 2 guard tokens on an ally, causing him to take the next 2 attacks meant for that character. Using a mastery point on Defender will change the block tokens into block plus tokens, which reduces incoming damage by 75% instead of 50%, and will bump up the number of guarded attacks from 2 to 3. The fourth skill of the Man-at-Arms is Bolster. Bolster is another skill that can be used from any position. This skill has been recently changed from an AoE to a targeted ability. When used, it will give the Man-at-Arms a block token as well as remove a vulnerable token from the targeted ally. In addition, Bolster will heal a single point of stress on the Man-at-Arms and the ally if either are at 5 stress or more. It's important to note that this works on an individual basis. For example, if the Man-at-Arms is at 5 stress and the target is at 3, it will remove the point of stress only on the Man-at-Arms. If both are at 5 or more stress, however, it will remove the point from both. Using a mastery point on Bolster will change the block token to a block plus token, allow the skill to remove a weakened token from the targeted ally in addition to the vulnerable token, and increase the stress healing to 2 points per character from 1. Bolster is a really solid move and is almost always the first skill I use a mastery point on in my playthroughs. Next, we have the fifth skill for the Man-at-Arms, Hold the Line. This skill can be used from any position other than the front and can target any of the front 2 enemy positions. Hold the Line will send the Man-at-Arms to the front position, give him a block token, and root him in place temporarily. Upgrading this skill with a mastery point will increase its damage, add an additional block token, and if the enemy has a combo token on them, will cause the attack to stun the target. Now we are on to the skills that start out locked. You'll need to visit and complete Shrines of Reflection to gain access to these skills. If you'd like to see all the Man-at-Arms Shrines of Reflection, be sure to check out the video from me in the comments and description. The Man-at-Arms' sixth skill is Bellow. Bellow is an AoE skill with a 1-round cooldown, which can be used from any position and hits all enemy positions. The skill will remove any repose tokens from the enemy, as well as debuff their speed by 3 for 3 rounds. Upgrading Bellow will cause it to also remove crit tokens from the enemy and increase the speed reduction from 3 to 5. Bellow is an incredible skill for on-hit effects such as trinkets or the Runaway's fire starter ability. That's right, you can literally yell at things until they catch on fire and die. And here's where I take a quick second to say thank you to the more than 17,000 of you that have subscribed to the channel so far. Really do appreciate it and won't be able to keep making this kind of content without you, but back to the guide. The next unlockable ability for the Man-at-Arms is Retribution. This is another skill that can be used from any position. Using this skill will award the Man-at-Arms with 2 taunt tokens as well as 2 repose tokens. These taunt tokens will make it so that the next 2 enemy attacks will target the Man-at-Arms. That is, as long as that enemy currently has a skill that can hit the Man-at-Arms in that position and isn't on cooldown. The repose tokens will cause the Man-at-Arms to dish out a counterattack on the attacking enemy as well. Using a mastery point on Retribution will cause the Man-at-Arms to also gain 2 block tokens. Overall, Retribution is a pretty awesome move as you are basically getting 2 attacks the price of 1, as well as consolidating incoming damage into a single beefy target. This is an absolutely amazing skill when paired with the Plague Doctor's indiscriminate science ability as well, since it gives her a ton of tokens to heal off of. On to the 8th skill, Command. Command is yet another Man-at-Arms skill that can be used from any position. This ability will remove blind tokens from an ally as well as give them a strength token, causing their next damaging attack to deal 50% additional damage. Using a mastery point on Command does nothing other than remove the cooldown. But I've got to admit that it feels pretty good spamming this onto a leper who's holding 2 damage trinkets in his inventory. The Man-at-Arms' 9th skill is Stand Fast. Hey, look at that, a Man-at-Arms buff skill that actually can't be used from any position. This ability can only be used from the front 2 spots, and it does have a 2-round cooldown. Using Stand Fast not only gives the Man-at-Arms 2 block tokens immediately, but causes him to gain another block token automatically at the beginning of each round for 3 rounds. Using a Mastery point here will change all those block tokens into block plus tokens, cause the ability to also remove combo points on the Man-at-Arms, and will reduce the cooldown to just a single round. The 10th Man-at-Arms ability is Courageous Abandon. Like the Highwayman's Point Blank Shot ability, this skill can only be used from the front position and only hits the front enemy position. Baseline, this skill does decent damage and ignores enemies' block tokens, but the real damage comes in when the Man-at-Arms has block or block plus tokens on him, increasing the damage output by 100%. This skill does remove the Man-at-Arms block tokens and leaves him with a vulnerable token. Using a Mastery point on Courageous Abandon will increase the skill's damage as well as double its crit chance to 20%. Whether you use a Mastery point or not though, this skill maintains its 2-round cooldown. As you probably guessed, Courageous Abandon pairs really well with Stand Fast. Stand Fast block token generation completely nullifies the vulnerable token that Courageous Abandon applies. The final skill of the Man-at-Arms is Strategic Withdrawal. This ability can be used from either of the front 2 positions and can hit either of the front 2 enemies with a moderately damaging attack. Strategic Withdrawal will also send the Man-at-Arms back 1 position while leaving his target with a combo token. Yet another great synergetic move for the Leper. Using a Mastery point here will increase the damage and crit slightly, as well as cause the move to have additional functionality while the Man-at-Arms is on death's door. When at 0 health, using Strategic Withdrawal will cause the Man-at-Arms to heal for 33% of his maximum health and leave him with both a block plus token and a speed token. I actually really like taking this upgraded skill to really tough boss fights as a sort of Hail Mary if things hit the fan. I mean, you never want to lose everyone, but if you're down to a single character, the Man-at-Arms spamming Strategic Withdrawal is pretty good. And that does it, every single ability for the Man-at-Arms. As this is early access, of course, many of these could change over time, but given what we've seen so far, the essence of the moves should remain, with just specific numbers being tweaked as we move forward. The Man-at-Arms is a versatile powerhouse and is currently one of my most used characters in the game. One of his only downsides currently is that he has so many good moves that it is often hard to choose what to run in each battle. He can even fit into position 4 with the right setup. I hope you enjoyed this Darkest Dungeon 2 Man-at-Arms skill guide. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and leaving a comment. Helps out the channel a ton. And as always, thanks for watching.